The Uber driver.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, right when we get in, I'm like, how's your night going? He's like, not good. I'm sick of you guys. And he was being serious. At first, I kind of laughed.
That is not a good way to encourage good reviews.
Not at all. And somehow we got through it. Like, I've gotten in more fights playing Portal with girls I've dated than what we did. What are you talking about?
Okay, so yeah, screw it. Just
one more window is not going to
blow all the windows.
That's where you draw the line. All right, first I got to bring up the drone. The drone today was so funny.
Oh, yeah, okay.
So we're at a friend's house. We're at our friend Mike's house, and there's like a group of us, and Ian's going off about this drone that he got from Remart for like a 25, like you got it on sale, like 50% off, $25 drone. You're like, this thing's sick, it's awesome. I brought it with me, and then we're like, well, let's see you fly it. And so we go outside in Mike's backyard, and you're like taking a while to set it up, and then you go up slowly, and then the first thing you do is you move left, you pilot it left, and it just hits a telephone pole wire, and then just lands into a tree.
Wait.
Yeah, that did not take very long. Easy come, easy go.
I can't believe I didn't film that.
That's okay. That was a
I fucking
good
missed
memory
it.
to have.
Oh my
Don't worry
god.
about it.
Are you serious?
Is it actually gone?
Is it gone? Yeah, it's gone, dude.
It's up in that tree, so...
I
It's
think
in
I
the
can
tree.
see her. Is that it right there?
Yeah.
So...
But it was funny that you just kept going blindly. Like you didn't even look up. I don't even think you looked up to see where the drone was going.
I gave it a few glances, and then I saw it heading towards that tree.
Yeah.
And I was trying to navigate away from it. But
Oh, you were?
But I was hitting the wrong. I was giving it the wrong instructions.
So it was kind of on autopilot at that point.
Yeah.
And you couldn't figure out how to veer it off course.
It was quite the hilarious flight of fancy.
It was the best thing that could have happened. Because had you just like flown it normally and just landed safely, like we wouldn't even be talking about it. It wouldn't be a story.
Yeah.
So it was great.
A catastrophe makes for a good story. And fortunately, it was just an easy write-off. Like, okay, that's the cost of learning.
Yeah.
And now I'm more interested in drones and
How to fly them properly.
probably gonna get another cheap one. And
Yeah, it's good to start off with the cheap ones. Lesson learned there.
yeah, exactly.
Oh, that was good. That was so fun.
And
Well worth the $25. Well
yes.
worth it for that moment.
yes.
We were all just like stunned because it happened so fast, and we're like, "Can we get it down from there?" Like, there's no way. Not even like a ladder would get us even close.
Yeah, I mean, if
It was
you got
up there.
a really long pole and smacked the tree around, it'd
Yeah.
fall into the neighbor's yard,
Yeah.
which it will eventually, and they'll probably be confused.
Are we being spied on?
Well, they'll see it has an SD card in it, so they'll see it.
Oh yeah.
It taking off in Mike's backyard,
Right,
and
right.
then just crashing into a tree.
I was it's good that I've always assumed, like in my mind, obviously wrong, but that like anytime if you were to fly a drone into like one of those telephone pole wires, that it would just create sparks and there'd be catastrophe.
No,
But those things are built pretty well.
no, yeah, that would not. It would just wreck the drone
Right.
unless you manage to somehow create a bridge between two different lines,
Right.
or somehow like a bridge between an insulator, across an insulator between a line and
Yeah.
a pole.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe if you had like a really beefy, like almost like commercial drone and like one of the blades hit it,
Yeah, the easy. I mean, if you want
could've-
to
they could do some damage.
fuck with power lines, all you have to do is get a bunch of Mylar balloons, release them into the power lines.
What are Mylar balloons?
You know, the shiny, not latex, but you don't know what Mylar balloons are?
No, I feel like I should.
There are two kinds of balloons, right?
Yeah.
One is the party balloon that's you blow up. It's made of latex. What's the other kind?
That
How
feeling
would-
kind of
how
now.
would-
Oh, you mean like the birthday part, like the party balloons, like happy birthday balloons?
Yes.
Oh, those are called Mylar?
Yes.
Oh, I didn't know. I had no idea. I didn't even know that. I didn't know the name for those. That
Yeah.
would do it. That would do
Oh,
it
yeah.
because they're conductive.
There's actually,
Because they're foil, kind of.
yeah, they're metallicized. So
Right.
if you buy those, there's actually it's required by law that they have to be they have to be weighed down. They have to come with a weight to keep them from floating away.
Right.
And they also have to be tied up in such a way that if they were to come loose, they will all go their own separate way. They won't rise as a bunch.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because it's when you get a bunch of Mylar balloons and you release them into power lines that you could take and you just make a catastrophe.
Wow. But I mean, there's like current running on the outside of those lines? Like if a bird landed on it?
Oh yeah.
Oh, wow.
No. Like, okay.
Not I'm talking about like the line that you hit today.
Those were just service drops to like the house.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah.
But yeah, you generally don't want to mess with those. But I'm talking about like high voltage transmission
Right, of course.
lines.
Yeah. Totally different story.
Where you like, I've seen videos of people climbing them, and they're like, I'm gonna touch it.
Oh my gosh.
Well, it turns out you don't actually have to make physical contact. Just getting close enough,
It'll arc.
yeah,
That's crazy.
and then you're dead.
That's crazy. Why would anyone even
Because
get near it?
Because sometimes the gene pool needs a little bleach.
Yeah. Weed out the bad seeds.
I mean, it's just ignorance. It's
natural selection,
ignorance and or just youthful bravado, boredom,
Yeah.
testosterone,
And you
peer
gotta-
pressure. Take your pick.
Everyone's got to film it, Got to do it for the views.
There's a lot of if you go into the rabbit hole of videos like that,
Yeah.
there are a lot,
Right.
and about 60% of them are in India.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
I'd say 20% are Brazil or South America.
India's got a big population. That's just population control.
20% Russia or Slavic countries, and then 20% United States.
Damn. Why?
That's my general breakdown.
Didn't you tell me about a video where a guy was like messing with like a blender, like one of those ninjas or like a Vitamix? And
Yeah.
He, what did he do? He like put his hand in it.
That may have been fake.
Oh,
I mean,
okay.
at this point, you can say that for a lot of things.
True.
But what I recall is somebody who was like, "Oh, I'm gonna do a trick where I turn on this blender and then I press right on the middle of it, on the central shaft,
Yeah.
just to create friction and slow down the blades."
Oh my god.
Whether fake or not, let's both agree that's a terrible idea.
Yeah. Oh man. People are wild.
Hand smoothie.
People are wild. Today was fun though. It was nice getting together
It was
with the friends,
We
with
ate
the bros.
some delicious
and the ladies.
foods.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was nice. And afterwards, Mel and I were driving home, and when she would first start hanging out with like us, like me and my friends, I think she kind of felt out of place a little bit because there's an age gap, and she was like, oh, like she would tell me like, oh, you guys, it's like you guys are just so adult, like I feel like I can't relate or whatever. But she felt that like the more we hang out together, like she feels more comfortable. So I was like,
Nice.
I was like, you seem more just relaxed this time. She's like, yeah, like I think I'm getting more used to it. Although like Steph makes me feel young. And I was like, really? Like, Aaron's girlfriend.
Yeah.
Or wife, sorry. And I was like, oh, why? She's like, just because like she's so much more mature than the rest of you. So my girlfriend just thinks we're a bunch of fools, dude. We're just a bunch of man children. I'm like, that's fair. That's fair.
I mean, it
Steph is much more mature than us.
Absolutely. She's mature and level-headed,
Yeah.
and not prone to flights of fancy,
Yeah.
flights of destruction.
Yeah, we had a nice flight of fancy today. That's for
Yeah,
sure.
no, she's cool and definitely provides a additional perspective to, yes, we're older and we're more mature, but there are degrees of maturity.
Yeah, definitely.
I keep seeing stupid things that I should get off my dash cam that I keep forgetting to.
Oh man.
Like a couple weeks ago, I was coming home from work and this Corvette was doing some stupid like swerving around in the lanes and
Had
stuff.
to be a Corvette, of course.
And then they got to an intersection, and then they had to do like a quick drift, like couple
Oh, God.
passes of drift, and then zoom off. It wasn't like a full takeover kind of thing. It was
Right.
just like some stunting.
Is there a better Chad car than a Corvette?
I don't know. I'm not an expert on these things.
I feel like Corvette is pretty like S tier Chad vehicle.
Yeah,
Definitely. It's the cool guy car.
it's definitely. I would say. I think if you take a Porsche versus a Corvette,
Yeah.
Porsche is more likely to be driven by somebody who's kind of mature,
Yeah.
and not given to dumb behavior like that. I would
It's
say
more subtle. It's like a more subtle luxury car.
Corvette and Charger.
Yes, Charger for sure.
Those are like the
Yeah.
top two like
Good call.
stunting cars.
Yep. Chargers always try to race me
Yeah.
when I'm on the road because, the sporty car.
Yeah.
So it's like anytime there's a Charger next to me, they start revving their engine at a red light. I'm just like without fail, it's always the Chargers trying to race me. I'm like, dude, I'm just trying to get to grocery outlet. Like, I'm not trying to race you right now on this 35 mile an hour street
Right.
or
Dude,
even on the freeway. It's
They
funny.
are fun though. They are. I had a rental for a couple weeks, and
Same.
I was like, this is really fun,
Yeah.
but it's stupid on gas.
Yes,
and
it is.
It's just a go fast in a straight line car.
Exactly. Yeah.
Versus
it's
you can
not a
go
turn.
fast and you
And
can
turn.
go around corners.
Yeah. They'll probably beat me on a freeway, but I'll definitely win in a canyon or something like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, those are wild cars. Equally wild drivers.
I always see. I actually have one saved from a while ago, but sometimes I'll see in multiple succession, like somebody who, let's say, across 4 or 5 lanes, they will cut across because they're about to miss their ramp,
Yeah.
and it'll happen. Somebody cuts across 4 or 5 lanes, barely makes their ramp, and then it'll happen again. It'll it happened 3 times in like 2 or 3 minutes one time, and I was like, I'm saving this. This is ridiculous.
Yeah. Yeah. I totally get like grown adults who are too afraid to drive in LA.
Yeah.
Like in a small town or something, I'm like, it's easy. It's like riding a bike or something. But in LA, it is crazy. And we have some effed up like merging on ramps and stuff on the
Yeah.
freeway where it's just like, even sometimes I'm like, this is ridiculous.
And
But,
and if you're using Google Maps, sometimes it tells you completely useless information that does not correspond to the sign whatsoever.
yeah, that totally throws you off.
Yeah. But I have some experience that tells me that in fact California is not as bad a place to drive as you may think that it is.
Sure. Yeah.
It's not great. But Arizona, I would say, is a worse place to drive than California, because California is, yes, it is California. People go fast,
Right.
but there is a certain amount of predictability. Like, you can profile drivers fairly readily, right?
Yeah.
Like, you can go, okay, this is the kind of person who goes 65 in the left-hand lane.
Right.
Or you can go, this is the kind of person who's going to tailgate. They're going to try to cut through. They're in a hurry. They have a spare donut on their car. You know the one.
Or they're all just like bashed up. There's like,
Yeah.
they're just dinged to hell.
Yeah.
You're like, all right, that's a red flag.
Or the work truck with the ladder that might come flying out.
Right.
But the trucks stay on the right. So in Arizona, the trucks are everywhere. They're across all the lanes. So you don't have that visibility, that you're used to, because there's trucks everywhere.
Yeah.
They're in all the lanes.
Like diesel trucks, like big rig trucks.
Big rigs,
Yeah.
yes. And then you have a mix of very, very slow drivers, very, very aggressive drivers.
Probably people from LA.
Well, Arizona has this mix of all these people who come to spend the winter there because wherever they live sucks
Yeah.
in the winter, and Arizona's nice in the winter.
Right.
So especially in the winter, you get, people from Seattle or from Washington who have a profile of being very slow drivers, or people from Colorado or Vermont.
So you don't really know what to expect. It's hard to predict.
Yeah. Versus it's relatively, having driven both places, it's relatively easy to predict California drivers. We
have a bit more of a hive mind.
Yeah, exactly. It's more cohesive. It may be chaotic on the surface, but there is a method to the madness.
Exactly. No, that's totally true.
As opposed to the one example I can speak to just from experience, Arizona, Phoenix area, it's a shit show.
Yeah.
Nonstop.
That's fair.
And you have to get your windshield replaced like every year.
Right. Because just people are just kicking. Oh, because the big rigs are just kicking.
There's always rocks.
Yeah.
There's always rocks and crap on the road.
That's
chipping, and then eventually cracking, and yeah.
Yeah, both times my windshield's cracked in my car, it's been a big rig in front of me, or even the lane adjacent, just ahead of me, and boom, boom. That sucks, dude. I actually have a really good dash cam video that you mentioned.
Yeah.
For when Mel and I when we got stuck, our car got stuck in Yosemite just a couple weeks ago.
Oh yeah.
She has a dash cam.
Good for her.
Inside the car as well.
Oh, so it's got your frustration.
It does. It has the very moment she like captured it or whatever, and it's the very moment that we knew we were screwed. Yeah, I'm going to show it to you, and I'll throw it up on the screen.
Is it the oh shit face?
It is for sure.
Why did you take her car instead of yours?
Hers is higher off the ground.
Okay, that makes sense.
And we were expecting snow. Yeah, just watch this.
Totally makes sense.
It's nice that we got as far as we did without him.
I know. That's the that we're getting through right now.
Yeah.
How does it feel? How does the drive feel?
Pretty fucking sketch.
Okay. Lovely.
Oh God.
Oh,
Jesus Christ.
Are we stuck?
Hold on. Then I try to reverse. Mel's face is so priceless.
It's just like
the look at each other like, oh shit. It's amazing.
That's good footage right there.
It's so good. It's so good. Oh man. Yeah. And then it goes on. We're like, all right, we should call someone. It's like neither of us have cell phone service. It just keeps getting worse. It was great.
That was quite the adventure, man.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely memorable.
Gotta give you props for making it work.
Yeah, I know. I mean, it's either a good time or a good story, as they say, you know?
Yeah, every now and then it's both.
Yeah.
That's double win, but
it was actually the most fun, I think, that we had on the trip was just running into one catastrophic issue after the next.
Did you find that it was kind of fun to work as a team to overcome challenges?
Absolutely, yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. It definitely it almost felt like we were just in an obstacle course, you know, just trying to get through it together. And we did no fights, no arguing. We were like on the same page the whole time.
Yeah. It was like a perfectly run corporate team building exercise.
It really was. Yeah. It was strategized perfectly by the universe, just orchestrated perfectly. And somehow we got through it. Like I've gotten in more fights playing Portal with girls I've dated than what we did.
To be fair,
that's a trying exercise.
Portal is yeah.
Oh man. Oh, so I was at I'm going to complain. I'm going to complain about a few people that I encountered in the last week or two.
Okay, hit me.
All right. I was at grocery outlet just doing my shopping, and I'm just like putting some chicken in my cart, and I just catch this vicious whiff of some mad BO. And I'm like looking around, and there's like a guy who is just he looks normal. He looks totally normal. He's like in some cargo pants, middle-aged guy, bushy beard, scrawny, skinny guy. And he's got, he almost looks like he was just camping or something. He had kind of like cargo pants and like almost like
was it a vest, like a fishing vest kind of thing?
It wasn't a vest. It was almost like, definitely like, just like an all-weather type of shirt.
Okay.
And he was wearing sandals with socks. And actually he wasn't wearing socks. He was just wearing sandals and his feet were super dirty. And I was like, oh my God, I think it's this guy. And, and then I kind of like distance myself, and then there's like this thugged out Mexican guy that comes up next to him. I kind of had my eye on him because I was like curious if anybody else could catch it, and the Mexican guy's like picking stuff out next to the other guy, and then as he's walking away, he just glances over, like takes one last look at the guy, like, holy crap, dude. So I was like, okay, it's not just me. This guy definitely reeks, and everyone knows it. Like,
Yeah.
And I was like, dude, and I was trying to figure it out because it's like he wasn't homeless. He wasn't homeless, but I was wondering like why he was so dirty and disheveled, and it was crazy because every aisle I'd go down, he would turn right, like he was following me, dude. Everywhere I went,
He was your own personal air defreshener.
yeah, it was brutal. It was like he was just chasing me around the store. And I finally got all the rest of my items, waited in line at the checkout, and he comes rolling through, and I'm like, please don't wait in this line. Please don't wait right behind me. And he took the lane right next to me.
Wow.
So I got lucky there.
That's a
I got
twist
lucky
ending.
there. Yeah. I got really lucky because I had a lot of items, so I would have been in proximity for a while.
Why didn't you get paper towel?
I totally forgot.
You literally have
I totally forgot.
a toilet paper roll on your paper towel holder.
Which is a perfect way to talk about today's topic. One of today's topics, which is what's the laziest thing you've ever done. And I think putting a toilet paper roll on your paper towel holder because you're too lazy to get paper towel at the store is pretty high up there.
Yeah.
I had like 3 of them. Just one on the counter, one by the microwave. Yeah, it's bad, dude. I got to get it together.
I don't know, man. I have so many good answers. I just have to I have to rack my memory.
Yeah, same. Yeah, I spent some time thinking about what's like, how lazy am I? Like, to what extent? Like, another one is right now my bathroom in the studio is clogged, and I tried plunging it like 5 times, and it just to no avail.
Okay.
And so like I've just been all week. I've just been like pissing in the sink. Like when I have to piss, I just like I need to bring like the snake. I have a snake here, but I've been just too lazy to just bring it over to the studio.
Do you have a good plunger or a crappy plunger?
It's a decent plunger. It's fine. Actually, it's not as good as it could be.
Okay.
Yeah. I need to get a better one. But pissing in the sink is not a good look.
I disagree. I think it's good for the environment.
Yeah? Putting it out. I mean, it's going in the ocean one way or another.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't feel too bad about that one.
I mean,
I feel bad that I haven't unplugged the toilet more so.
yeah.
And if I have to take a crap, I just rush here. I just rush home.
What's the worst toilet clog you've ever had to deal with?
And we're back on toilet talk.
You know what? We do that too much.
Yeah. Aaron was like, dude, you guys are just talking about farts and shits all day, dude. You guys got any other cards?
It's near and dear to our heart.
It really is. But then the other thing I wanted to complain about before we get into like laziest things you've ever done is there was Mel and I were coming back from, I think we were like at a barcade or something. It was late at night, and then we get into an Uber. And the second we get in there, the energy, the vibe, this guy, he's like this middle-aged white guy with blonde hair, and he just looks kind of depressed. And he's just like, I'm like, how's your night going? You know, I'm just like being friendly. And he's like, yeah, I'm sick of you guys. And I'm like, oh. And he's like, yeah, I'm just sick of you guys, like, you know, giving me bad reviews. I was like,
was that the owner?
The owner?
Who was complaining about bad reviews?
Oh, it was the Uber driver.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, right when we get in, I'm like, how's your night going? He's like, not good. I'm sick of you guys. And he was being serious. At first, I kind of laughed.
That is not a good way to encourage good reviews.
Not at all, right? So I like laughed at first because I thought he was joking. And then I realized like, oh, he's actually being serious. Like he's not in a good mood right now. And I'm like, oh, that sucks. And he was, I didn't know what to say. He's like, yeah, you know, like people are just complaining that I made an illegal U-turn. And I was just like, I'm just trying to get them to the closest, the best drop off point, you know? And it's not my fault. Like I'm just making illegal U-turns, but I'm trying to get them safely. And I'm just like, you know, I'm going along with it.
Yeah.
And then he like just proceeds to like tell us about his whole life story. Like within the 10-minute drive, unprompted, completely unprompted. By the end of the drive, we found out that he has been divorced. He's a divorcee, and he got divorced 3 years ago, and still really torn up about it. He's got one kid, and he was in a really bad motorcycle accident that's basically rendered him, disabled or whatever. And but it's just interesting. Like, some people have this cold exterior where they're like, "Don't talk to me. Like, I don't want to talk to you.
Yeah.
Don't ask me anything."
Right.
But then at the same time, will divulge all of their life stories, all of their dirt. They'll just air it out, and like they're looking for sympathy or something. Like, it seems like a cry for help or something like that. And I was like, dude, this guy's in a rough spot. So, I was just trying to be cordial and stuff. But I was like, we both got out of that Uber ride and we just looked at each other like, dude, that guy's going through it.
Yeah.
That guy's going through it. I mean, even without the illegal U-turn, I can't imagine that's a pleasurable ride for many people. You know what I mean? Just like...
No. What kind of review did you give him?
I give him 5 stars. Like, I give practically everyone 5 stars. It's almost out of habit. It's got to be really bad. Like, if the driving was bad, like at least he wasn't a terrible driver. If they're being unsafe, then I'll probably dock him a star or something like that.
Yeah.
But that rarely happens. But at the same time, I was just glad. I was like, I'm glad there's no like cliffs on the way home, because this guy could just drive us off the edge.
That's true.
Yeah, it was pretty brutal. Any good Uber stories? Any good Uber driver stories? Any standouts?
I don't think I've had any exceptional encounters with Uber drivers. Like nothing truly noteworthy. I've had some good conversations. Had a lot of rides where it was just silence, and that was fine with me.
Yeah,
but nothing that was like, oh wow, this is a really interesting person with a really interesting story, or
sure,
anything like that.
I've gotten like middle-aged women that it's their first day or first week on the job, and they have no idea how to use the app. They don't know where they're going.
Oh,
they're like, do you know?
Sounds...
They're like, do you know which way your place is? I'm like, no.
That's your job.
Yeah, you're just supposed to take me there. And that's been kind of rough at times, but yeah, that guy was quite interesting. All right, let's talk about the laziest thing you've ever done. I looked this up on like top Ask Reddits.
Yeah,
there's some really good entries that we'll read, but I wanted to talk about some personal examples that we have first, and then also Discord has some good stories. And all right, one of mine is peeing in the sink, obviously, the toilet paper, and then also like sometimes I'll like compose a full email on my phone at my desk when like the keyboard's right there, just because I don't want to lift my hands out. Like, it's easier to just use the thumbs, and I feel so terrible doing it. I'm just like, why am I doing this?
Do you never use voice to text?
There's always something. It always like messes something up or doesn't get it exactly right, and then I find myself just editing it too much.
So you got the lightning thumbs going.
Yeah.
So instead of writing an email on your laptop, you do it on your phone.
Right. When it's literally right in front of me.
The top 2 that I can think of just initially, because there's a lot. One of them was, I was notorious as a kid for cleaning my room by taking everything and throwing it under my bed.
Oh yeah,
I'm sure that's not uncommon.
Yeah,
but
I still do that.
But I went to the extra effort of not just throwing things under my bed, but also stuffing them in between the bed slats and the mattress.
Oh yeah.
So that if you looked under my bed,
hide
it didn't look like there was stuff under there, but there was actually stuff hidden in the top underneath my bed.
It's funny how like sometimes being like really lazy ends up being work. Like,
it was lazy plus creative.
Right, exactly.
I guess.
Yeah.
It was extra effort, but it was extra effort. It was less effort than actually cleaning the stuff up, probably. Maybe not.
Right.
But it was also like, I don't know. I feel like doing stuff like that just keeps my mind limber. Like I have a problem. I want to find an easy solution. Okay, there's a snag, but it's still an easy solution. I just have to make this one little extra step, and it's done.
Yeah, that's pretty good. That's a good one. There's one from Discord from Jeremy. He said that he ordered DoorDash from McDonald's, but it was across the street. So instead of walking across the street, he just opened up his app. He said, to be fair, I had just woken up and I rarely get Mickey D's breakfast, but I was just too lazy to get dressed and walk across the street.
Okay. That's pretty damn lazy. I have a couple more.
Okay.
One of them has some negative connotations. I'll take those if I have to, but this is kind of just a guy thing. I had an empty water bottle and just in my room and just peed in the empty water bottle
Because you didn't want to walk to the bathroom.
because I didn't want to walk to the bathroom.
That's one of them on here.
Granted, later, it's not like I'm not the person who has a collection of piss bottles.
Right, sure.
So the next time I leave my room, I'll take it with me and dump it in the toilet.
Yeah. That's you might be related to Uni. He said needing to pee at night and just popping open the bedroom window rather than taking the 15 seconds to walk to the bathroom.
Out the window?
He said, I didn't have neighbors at the time, mind you. Like, that makes it. Out the window is wild.
Yes. I don't
Especially if there's
think
like
I've ever peed out a window. I think I would remember it if I did.
And even if there's like the slightest bit of wind just gusting into your room, that's just the backsplash on that's not gonna be nice.
Yeah.
But when you're that lazy, I guess you don't care.
Yeah, at least I keep it clean and contained.
Yeah. I remember one time I was really high in my car in a Del Taco parking lot at night.
Yeah.
And I had to pee really bad. So instead of just getting out of the car and like pissing in a bush or something, I pissed in my empty like Sprite cup and completely forgot about it. Like 20 minutes later, Cottonmouth hits me.
No.
Just the worst Cottonmouth ever. And so I just grab this half full cup and just take a mighty sip, a huge sip, giant gulp, and immediately realized my mistake. And
Recycling.
I was like, Sprite shouldn't be this warm. First of all, it's gone flat.
And a little salty.
It was bad. It was really bad.
I mean, there's worse things you can do, but that's still not fun.
No, definitely not.
It reminds me of a road trip where I had to make rest stop. I couldn't find any. It was just a lonely, empty stretch of road.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I don't really love getting out of my car and pissing on the side of the road.
Yeah.
With one exception, but I managed to fill an entire 1 liter bottle.
No. From a single?
Yes.
Were you just like pounding? Did you just pound that 1 liter bottle of fluid before?
I had been staying hydrated.
Yeah.
And I was just like, okay, I can't hold it anymore. Like I gotta let loose.
Yeah, you're just really backed up.
And it was a full liter.
Oh my gosh. I've made the mistake of not of using a smaller container that was less than a liter.
Yeah.
And not being big enough.
And then you have to pinch it off.
In the car, and I got to pinch it off, and you're like, no, wait, and it's like you wait too long, and then you just see it fill up to the nozzle. There's a bit of overflow.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I've been there.
No, that's why I stockpile those. Multiple reasons. They're good bottles. The water bottles, the 1 liter ones with the wide mouth,
Oh yeah.
because they can make good emergency gasoline bottles.
True.
Containers or relief canisters.
Yeah. That's another lazy.
Or just reusable water bottles. Just don't mix them up.
Right. Yeah. True. That's another lazy thing about me is like I've run out of gas so many times because I was just too stubborn to get more gas. Although to be fair, it was mostly in the Ford Explorer where the fuel gauge was messed up.
But you've run out of gas in other vehicles.
Actually, I think it was just that car.
Okay.
So yeah, so it was
Semi-excusable.
a little bit excusable. Yeah, but I still should have filled up sooner. This is a funny one. Sand says, not me personally, but my brother once opened the side of a sleeping bag to stick his ass out and take a shit without having to leave the bag fully, then fell asleep again. That's, the visual of that is so funny. Just an ass sticking out of a sleeping bag, just with shit coming.
No.
Like, that's crazy. Like, not even a wipe afterwards. You just tuck your ass back in.
Some people don't wipe their ass.
That's insane. There's no way.
No, it's a thing.
That's not a thing.
Some people
Don't wipe at all in
Yeah.
any case. Like there's perfectly good toilet roll right there, paper towel roll, toilet paper. Words.
Apparently, it's a thing.
No way. That's crazy.
I agree.
I wonder if it's a cultural thing. Like some parts of some neck of the woods is just they don't.
I think
that.
there are some people who are so screwed up in the head that they think it's gay to wipe their asshole because they're
way
touching their asshole basically.
If anyone out there watching this right now can speak to this, if you think it's gay to wipe your ass after taking a poop, let us know. We need to find out who you are.
Not if you think
Explain.
that. I wouldn't expect you to think that, but if you know somebody who thinks that,
Sure. Yeah. If you've come across it
in the wild,
in any way, we'd love to hear about it. That's crazy. It doesn't even feel good. I mean, your ass is
terrible.
Itchy.
It's
your
terrible.
ass is itchy. You're soiling yourself.
Yeah, no, it's.
Oh my god.
Well, there are also people who are literally, because of the shape of their body, unable to wipe their ass unassisted.
Like if they were too big.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then you go from the front. Well, sometimes
they
the
make
front.
they make actually they make grabby like handles for like you put toilet paper on and a clump of it, and then it's like a toilet paper wand.
Yeah, I have seen those.
But at least those folks are getting the job done.
See, that's way gayer.
Even though like without assistance they would not be able to wipe.
Yeah.
And now we're on shit again.
We're back on it.
Sorry. We need a episode, like just a little number in the bottom right hand corner, just shit counter. Like how many times have we gotten onto poop and or farts?
Like just during the episode, it's just a live real time counter.
Yeah.
And it's like it makes
It's like a
noise every time.
Yeah.
I like that.
Have you ever seen the video the bootleg fireworks?
No.
There's a Jesus counter. It's like the camera.
Because
cameraman,
someone's saying Jesus.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Okay. One particularly lazy yet creative thing that I've done that I'm kind of proud of. So my old place had a really small closet, and it had this really, really simple kind of DIY shelf in the closet that was just held up by drywall anchors. It was like angled brackets to support it.
Yeah.
But pretty much just drywall anchors. It wasn't, actually attached to any studs.
Right.
And it was just a shelf, and it had a little clothes hanging bar. And it was a small place, so I put a lot of stuff on that shelf. And one day, the weight was too much, and the shelf kind of just partially collapsed.
Yeah.
It didn't completely come out of the wall.
Right.
Like the bottom drywall anchors held.
Yeah.
But I looked at it and I thought, what's an easy fix? So I got a shower rod.
I knew it. I knew you were just gonna prop it up.
I took a shower rod. I put some pressure on it. I cranked it closed, and it kind of looked like it belonged.
Right. Yeah.
Like it just sort of made sense.
Look stock. Yeah.
And then after that, the shelf worked fine.
So did you just not have a shower curtain after that?
No, it was an extra.
You had a spare.
I had a spare because I had it near the laundry machines because I would hang clothes on it.
Yeah.
While I was doing laundry.
Right.
So I had a spare, shower curtain rod. So it was sturdy enough that it held that shelf up perfectly. I moved out. I got my security deposit back.
Nice. The fact that it looked like it was supposed to be there probably helped.
Yeah.
They probably just saw it and they're like, didn't even blink.
I mean, it was like, it'll hold. It's good enough.
Just immediately put all your stuff back on the shelf.
Yeah, no, once I put that there and I propped it up, it was solid again. I put all my storage stuff back on there.
Nice.
And it's probably there to this day.
That is a smart move. That is probably the best thing you could have done.
But it was also super lazy.
Very lazy. I like that. All right, we've got some good Reddit posts on this topic. Someone said, I have a dog and a cat, and I hate sleeping with the door open. Sometimes dog wants to sleep in the bedroom. Sometimes dog wants to sleep outside the bedroom. But he never decides until I'm comfy in bed. Solution? Keep a laser pointer on my nightstand. Once dog decides where he's sleeping, I'll shine the laser pointer on the door so that my cat paws it closed. It has now become a routine that my cat will wait by the door for the laser before lying down. That's cool. Just have your pets do your business.
That's technically lazy, but I rate it much higher on creative problem solving.
Yes, I mean some of these posts. I mean they're all very creative. They're all very creative. It's like you get points for. It's almost like you lose points in just being active, but you gain points in just creativity.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's another one. I was laying in bed with the light. A lot of these are just like people that are already comfy in bed. That's a big one.
That does serve as a root cause for many cases of extreme laziness.
I was laying in bed with the light on and wanted to go to sleep with it off. I called my house from my cell phone and asked for myself in a disguised voice. When my mom came in to bring me the phone, I asked her to turn the light out. When she left, hung up both phones and went to sleep. So good. That's so amazing.
Okay, that.
It's like it's one thing to
Yeah.
manipulate your pet with a laser pointer. To manipulate another human, to do something so mundane, is very, very cool.
I have a really, I don't know why they don't make them more. I mean, there's only a few on the market that I can find, but it's a remote outlet switch.
Yeah.
Except instead of controlling it with an app or something, it's got a physical switch.
Okay.
So it doesn't require batteries.
Okay.
So it never runs out of batteries.
Yeah.
So I just have that physical switch next to my bed,
Right.
and I just hit that and it lights out.
All right. That doesn't even come close to this next one. I used to have one of those clap on, clap off lights in my room. I hated clapping, so I just made an audio recording of me clapping and mapped it to one of the programmable keys on my keyboard. That's S tier, dude.
Yeah,
That's S tier for sure.
yeah. I feel like there should be lights I think the standard should be lights that automatically turn on if they detect screaming.
Oh, interesting. What
Like
if you're having
they
sex?
don't turn off. They don't turn. It's not like clap on, clap off.
Yeah.
It's just like if they detect somebody screaming, they
turn on.
turn on.
What if it's like you're doing the deed?
Then it might get bright. I don't know. I mean, you could. I mean, I'm sure. I don't know. I just thought of it as like maybe that would be a safety thing. It's just like you see you're in your house. It's dark and you see something weird and you scream.
Yeah.
You're just like, oh, it was just a cardboard cutout.
It'd be hilarious if you could like tweak it and just prank someone where it's just like it turns like as soon as you scream it turns the lights off. So suddenly
would be-
you're scared and now you're in the dark.
Yes, that would be some black hat.
Like I see a spider on my arm, and then it's just dark. That's evil, dude.
That's very Disneyland haunted house kind of thing. Like, oh, something spooky. Oh, the lights are out. Oh no.
Yeah. Shot 10 Nerf darts at my light switch from bed. Missed all of them and slept with the lights on. There's no way that would work. There's no way you could shoot the light switch. Oh, I guess you could if it's one of those like seesaw ones.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's so funny. The fact that he just gave up and just...
I'm surprised they didn't try throwing something.
True. Maybe he ran out of things, just threw the Nerf gun and that was it.
It's just like that was the only thing within reach.
That's extra lazy because he failed and then just decided I'm just gonna accept failure.
Sleeping
and
with the
sleep
lights on is hard.
It is, yeah.
But-
some people can do it.
The only time I really can do it is if I'm extremely fatigued, like I'm just super lack of sleep and I'm dead tired. I've woken up in bed, and it was because when you're that tired, sometimes you just like you instinctively get in bed because it feels so good, and you're thinking, okay, I gotta take off my clothes and turn off the lights, and then the next thing, it's the next day, and the lights are on. Yeah. You're in your clothes in your bed, and you're just like, oh, well, I guess that happened.
Yeah. I mean, how many times have I like fallen asleep or like gotten into bed all comfy and then remembered that I didn't brush my teeth?
Yeah.
And I was just like, no, I'm not doing this. I'm not going to do
there that. There needs to be some kind of a bedside device that lets you brush your teeth
and rinse.
And yeah, just like nothing enormous. And you can use it like a few times before you have to, empty it out and refill it and whatever.
Yeah, like a little bedpan.
Just but it's like an automatic toothbrush. It's like Invisalign, but with just like brushes.
Oh yeah.
And little like water rinse system to rinse everything out, and then you can spit everything out in it.
That'd be wild to use that on a plane. Just have the person next to you just looking at you like, what?
It seems like something Sharper Image would have made.
Yeah. Or like Brookstone or something like that.
Yes, exactly. Exactly.
That's a good idea, actually. Not me, but a buddy of mine was laying in bed one morning, picked his nose and had nowhere to put it back in his nose.
That's kind of classy, because instead of just like
sticking it
on the wall or under a chair or something,
you're
just like, all right, back to where he once belonged.
just imagining the visual of the guy like looking around the room like, damn it, or whatever. Just sticks it back.
That means that's somebody who's respectful of their surroundings.
Yeah, right. Yeah, he definitely gets points for that. That's a nice one. It's very thoughtful. Because if that was me, I'd just flick it into the ether.
And then it's gone. It's somebody else's problem.
This is the last one for that because it's a good one. It's a little long, but it's worth it. I was once on a U.S. military ship having breakfast in the wardroom, officer's lounge, when the operations officer, OPS, walks in. This guy was the definition of not a morning person. He's still half asleep, bleary-eyed. Basically a zombie with a bagel. He sits down across from me to eat his bagel and is just barely conscious. My back is to the outboard side of the ship, and the morning sun is blazing in one of the portholes, putting a big, bright-ass circle of light right on his barely conscious face. He's squinting and chewing and basically just remembering how to be alive for the day. It's painful to watch. But then Zombie Ops stops chewing, slowly picks up the phone, and dials the bridge. In his well-known I'm still totally asleep voice, he says, "Hey, it's OPS. Could you shift our parpat? Yeah, 165, thanks," and puts the phone down. And then he just sits there, squinting, waiting. And then ever so slowly, I realize that big blazing spot of sun has begun to slide off the zombie's face and onto the wall behind him. After a moment, it clears his face and he blinks slowly a few times. And the brilliant beauty of what I've just witnessed begins to overwhelm me. By ordering the bridge to adjust the ship's back and forth patrol by about 15 degrees, he's changed our course just enough to reposition the sun off his face. He's literally just redirected thousands of tons of steel and hundreds of people so that he could get the sun out of his eyes while he eats his bagel. I am in awe. He slowly picks up his bagel, and for a moment I'm terrified at the thought that his own genius may escape him, but that he may never appreciate the epic brilliance of his laziness, since he's not going to wake up for another hour. But between his next bites, he pauses, looks at me, and gives me the faintest, sly grin before returning to gnaw slowly on his zombie bagel.
I've heard that story before.
Yeah.
It's still good.
Holds up, dude. Holds up. Oh, what a legend.
That's like the SR-71 story, but of laziness in the military.
Oh, man. That's so good. I'm really glad I don't have a Tesla or just something with really good autopilot. I'd be terrible with that. I don't trust myself enough with it.
How so?
I just use it irresponsibly.
Oh.
I'd be like texting on my phone while it's just, I would just justify in my head like why it's safe. Like, oh, there's not that many cars on the road.
Yeah.
I'm going 25 miles an hour. It's fine.
Yes.
Those kids are on the sidewalk. Those kids playing basketball could roll out in front of me at any moment. It's fine.
Have you seen any Cybertrucks around?
I saw one. I think I saw one on the freeway. I think I was with Mel. We saw it briefly. They look wild, dude.
They do.
They're huge. They're beasts.
I don't know if I've seen one in person. If I did, it was in downtown LA.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna give it like 10, 15 years, and I'm kind of hoping for a reboot of Back to the Future, but with a Cybertruck instead of a DeLorean.
Oh.
Simply because of the stainless steel body,
Right.
Like that underlying theme of
Yeah.
whatever. It's a distinctive vehicle, and it's made
Right.
of stainless steel.
Right.
But it is pretty interesting how many problems they're having. Don't be.
I haven't looked into it much.
It basically it really sucks to be an early adopter for a Cybertruck.
Why? What are the big flaws of it?
There are too many to
Really?
accurately recount. But
Oof.
there was a recall because the accelerator pedal has a cover on it. Because the accelerator pedal itself is just this unfinished bare metal thing,
Yeah.
and it has a cover on it,
Right.
which is kind of aesthetic, but it's got
Sure.
some like little grippy rubber strips and stuff.
Right.
But it kind of slides on to
Okay.
the accelerator pedal,
Yeah.
and so I think looking at the pictures, it looks like it kind of grips. It goes over the pedal and then grips underneath on the sides.
Sure.
It's just glued on.
Oh.
So
No screws.
yeah.
Wow.
So
That's pretty.
there's been
pretty
at least one documented case of somebody's accelerator pedal, the facade slipping forward, and jamming the accelerator pedal down.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
No way.
So there was a recall for that.
Oh my gosh.
That's
That's unreal.
And then there's been multiple reports of people, getting a mile off the lot and then having massive errors splashing across their screen.
Oh my gosh.
Like,
That's a mess.
going through a car wash voids your warranty.
Does it really?
Yeah.
Like officially, they say you can't get it washed.
unless it's a touchless car wash. Apparently.
Wow.
But it has.
Is that 'cause it'll rust otherwise?
No, it has places in the frame where water can pool.
Oh.
And there's also electrical wiring going through the same place,
Right.
so it can short.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Jeez. I
Yeah.
wonder how it holds up in like a rainstorm.
I wonder. It remains to be seen. It's really kind of a bummer because I wanted to like it simply because of the ugliness of it and
Right.
the audacity of I'm a billionaire, so I just have this vision for this thing,
Right.
and I'm gonna make it. And
Yeah. And it's like it's one of those things. It's one of those products where the whole like ethos of it was like we can get away with it looking as ugly as it does because it's so badass.
yeah,
And the reality is that it comes out and it's trash. Like it's totally failing in so many metrics.
it has
So now it has
a lot
nothing
of
going for
it
it.
has a lot of refinement and issues to be fixed.
That's hilarious that it can't handle a car wash, but it's bulletproof.
It's bulletproof up to a point. Like
Sure,
you
but
know,
they kept that's the one thing that they
Yes.
kept wailing on.
yes.
Hammering.
Although yeah, it'll resist like 9mm, but
Yeah, get
a
an
rifle
AR-15.
a rifle is gonna go through it.
Sure.
The other issue is that the side window glass is laminated. So that's your windshield. Like when
Yeah.
something hits your windshield, it doesn't just explode.
Right.
It stays intact.
Yeah.
Because you don't want stuff coming through your windshield,
Right.
right?
Gotcha. Yeah.
Or you don't want your windshield turning into pieces of glass and hitting you.
yeah.
But traditionally, side windows on cars are a single layer of tempered glass.
Mm-hmm.
So it's tough, but once it's broken, it just shatters. It shatters into a bunch of kind of cubes almost.
Right.
So it's not going to slash you open.
Yeah.
But when you have laminated glass, just like the windshield on the sides, when you break it, it's like, yes, the glass is broken, but there's still an impenetrable layer there. You cannot get out because the window's broken.
Oh.
So there you're
It's like a safety hazard then.
Yeah.
kind of, right? Yeah.
So traditionally, if you're trying to enter or exit a vehicle for an emergency,
yeah.
you can break the side window,
Right.
and then you get immediate ingress or egress.
Right.
But if you have laminated glass, then maybe you can get lucky enough to just like kick it out with your feet.
Right.
If you're inside the vehicle. I don't know.
It's probably easier said than done.
Yeah, it seems like.
And you might be injured.
Yeah.
Too injured to do that.
And so that seems like maybe to somebody it was a cool idea, but in execution, I don't think it belongs.
Yeah, that's cyber coffin right there.
Yeah.
Yikes.
Did you hear about the billionaire? I want to say Walmart heiress. Not Walmart. It was some tech company.
Okay.
She was in a Tesla Model X and backed up into a pond and was trapped. She couldn't get out.
Yeah.
And nobody could get in for like an hour.
The car was just kind of floating in the pond.
No, it was submerged.
Just submerged.
It sank. It slowly sank.
Whoa.
Yeah, she died.
Oh, she died. I was like, oh, it didn't fill up with water. That's cool.
Yeah.
No, it just completely. Was that based off of a design decision from Tesla? Like you can't get in.
Well, she was drunk,
Okay.
and I think, I don't know. I guess
Like, wouldn't the same thing have happened in any other car?
I don't know. I honestly don't know.
Yeah.
It was just relevant, but
I mean, maybe if like I could understand if like the autopilot just reversed her into the pond or something.
I feel like there should be some consideration for some automated safety system for that particular situation.
Right.
Because if your car is in water and it's sinking, and even if it's like just starting to fill up with water,
Yeah.
if you're underwater, you cannot open your door.
Right. It's too much pressure.
Yes.
Right.
So you would have to break a window,
Yeah.
or you would have to wait until it's basically completely flooded, like there is almost no air left in the car until you can possibly open a door.
That's terrifying.
And since
Gosh.
windows are typically electronic, like by the time that you're in the water, there's a chance that you can't roll down your windows,
Right.
because they're electronically controlled.
Jeez, man.
So I feel like,
you get shocked too, maybe.
yeah, so one of the reasons why it took so long for people to try to go and rescue this woman,
Yeah.
is because there were divers who were like, I don't want to try to dive in there and rescue this person if there's a risk of me being, exposed to electrical shock, because this
Teslas are PCs on wheels.
Yeah, big giant batteries,
Right, and huge
Like,
batteries.
yeah, it has a very large amount of energy stored in it,
Right.
and I don't know how that could affect me if I'm getting close to it.
It's like taking apart a power supply or something.
Yeah.
There's a big charge in there.
My thinking is, if I had it my way, there would be a safety feature for vehicles.
Just blows the doors off.
It blows the windows out.
Oh yeah.
It's
probably better.
Or actually, there is one car. I don't remember what it is. There was some super high end performance car that had explosive bolts for the doors.
Damn. For that reason, in case it got submerged.
No, just
to drop weight if you're trying to beat someone.
I don't know if it was for. I don't know what the exact purpose was. I think it was just like for like an emergency exit.
Yeah.
because it was very complicated to like if the doors were damaged, then they wouldn't open or something. I don't remember. But I'm thinking it wouldn't be too hard to engineer just a button on your dash.
Yeah.
With
big red button.
A big, but with a cover over it.
Glass cover on it. Yeah.
Yeah. The one that you have to lift.
Yes.
And you press that, and immediately all of your side windows blow out.
Damn. You'd just be like looking at you, like you and the passenger, like, all right, on the count of 3, we're hitting this button, and it's just to swim for our lives.
Or it could be you hold the button, and every second windows. So you hold the button after 1 second, driver's side window goes.
Yeah.
Another second.
What's the benefit of having them do it that way?
Staggered.
Yeah.
I don't save money. You just blow out your front 2 windows. You don't have to do the back 2 because you only have a driver and a passenger.
Yeah. Sure.
There's no one in the back seat.
Your car's already underwater. It's done, dude. What are you talking about?
Okay, so yeah, screw it. Just
one more window is not going to
blow all the windows.
That's where you draw the line. Oh my god. Dude, how scary would that be? Like you and a buddy are just like in a car that's completely underwater and you're about to hit that button. Like you would have to, once you hit that button, you kind of have to wait, like you said, for the water to really get to the top because you can't swim out of it while the water's gushing in.
Yeah.
But that's also scary because as the water's filling up the car is also getting heavier and sinking lower.
Yeah.
That's terrifying.
It is terrifying.
That is that's a harsh way to go.
Okay, so it would have to be entirely mechanical. Mm-hmm. And it would have to not just blow out the windows, but also detonate a charge that would sever the seat belts.
Oh yeah, right.
Because you're probably not going. You may not remember to take your seatbelt off before you hit that button.
True. Yeah, you might be.
Or it could be tangled or something.
Right.
So there would have to be immediate disengagement of seatbelts by just shearing them off.
Right.
At like 2 or 3 points.
Yeah. That would suck if you forgot the seatbelt and you're just like, all right, go swim. Like the windows explode and then you're still strapped in.
Yes.
You're like, what? I can't move. Oh shit. And then you're just wasting your breath.
Yeah.
Trying to undo it. Ugh.
Yeah.
No way, dude.
Yeah. So it'd have to be mechanical because anything electrical could be faulted by water intrusion.
Right.
But I would actually love to see that. It's a rare. Here's the thing: this a very rare occurrence that you get a car, submerged in water.
Yeah.
But to have Volvo, I want Volvo to add that feature
because they're like number 1 in safety, right?
Yes.
What if it's just like your car? You hit the same red button, but it just deploys like a life vest for your car, and it helps it. Just makes it buoyant.
That could possibly work, but it would negatively impact your vehicle handling and gas mileage because it's a lot of extra weight to put that system in.
Sure.
And typically the way that those like an emergency slide on an airplane,
Yeah.
or life raft or whatever, typically the way that those things work is, yes, they have a compressed gas canister, but that gas is not actually the sole source of inflation.
I see.
So it actually has a really cool design that uses a Venturi nozzle. So basically when you hit the escape slide on a plane, there's a gas canister that starts discharging gas, and it ends up pulling gas from the air around it,
Right.
and pushing it in along with the stream of gas from the canister. So it's almost like
Right.
an amplifier.
Which you wouldn't have underwater.
I imagine not.
Yeah.
So in the case of trying to make a buoyancy skirt for a car, you'd have to have all the gas that you need on board. That would add weight with the canisters. Then you have canisters of highly pressurized gas, which are dangerous in of themselves in a few ways.
True.
So I like the just emergency blowout scheme.
Or you just die.
Yeah.
You go, you know what? If I'm dumb enough to find myself in this scenario, I should just take it on the chin.
Okay, so basically, if your car detects that you're underwater, it just
Explodes you.
yeah.
That'd be the best.
A screen comes down,
Right.
and it does the little kill screen from Grand Theft Auto.
Yeah.
And then you die.
The last thing you see is just wasted. I think we can conclude this episode by saying it's a good thing Ian and I don't design cars.
Hey, I like my idea.
All right, yeah, I'll speak for myself.
Not the suicide part.
I think that's the best option.
The one that I want Volvo to make.
All right. You guys weigh in. What life-saving feature for an underwater car would you guys like to see in your vehicle? Let us know. Thank you for tuning in to episode 46. We will see you guys next week.
Later.